Well, then we're pretty much good for takeoff, and we'll be able to yap and talk about whatever we want. But Aman's going to put on some music whenever he's ready to go. And it's us, the audience, and watching the guy push for 3,000 blitz.
Sounds good to me.
Got the cam set up. The crowd is all lubricated. And and it's a Saturday night celebrating 10 years.
I've been sitting on this reading for a while because I'm doing building habits. So it's never been really a good time to play unless I just wanted to lose ELO. So I still don't really feel ready because you can't really practice blitz without playing it. And I wasn't playing it. So it's kind of a catch-22, but I've been playing a bunch of bullets. So at least even if we won't be playing well, I'll try to keep the speed up.
Any words of advice, Yasser?
Play well. Just play well.
Shit.
We do have a blitz game.
Yes.
You can continue, but we have a blitz game. This counts. Aman's going for his all-time high, 3,000 blitz. He's at his current peak of 2974, and he's found in American FM.
Ooh. It's going Slav defense, exchange Slav. In that particular position, I've always favored the move a6 over bishop g4. It's very, very strange, this particular line of the exchange Slav. a6 becomes an incredibly useful move lots of times, and it's sort of like you're waiting for white to play a move like bishop f4 or knight e5, and a6 is very useful. At the moment,
You're okay.
Yeah. Well,
Queen d7 maybe. We want a knight versus bishop imbalance for blitz. Aman's playing a lower rated player too, so you know.
Okay. I'm a little bit concerned about knight c5, bishop c5, dc5, castles, b4, it's sort of like knight versus bishop, like the pawn majority is going nowhere, but black's pawn majority in the center kind of gets stuck, and you got to be careful about queen to d4, bishop e5.
So maybe knight c5, queen c8.
Knight c5, queen. Okay, here it comes. This is the big moment.
Because at least if we don't take on c5, we might be able to play knight d7, knight b6, knight c4, get some sort of position where we have the light squared pawns versus the dark squared pawn. I don't know.
No. But I like your thinking, and I'm glad that Aman avoided that middle game with bishop takes c5 and dc5. So right now, I think he's totally legit. Like, this is, super close to equality. I like knight e4, intending, b6 and knight c3. On a good day, we can get a knight on c3. Life's not bad.
He's gonna go rook c4. That's Aman's gonna go. Rook c4. Yeah.
You guessed it. Okay, so a3, one of those kind of useful little waiting moves.
Knight e4 maybe.
Okay, queen b2. I think he wants to play knight to e5.
I could maybe take on b4, but it could get dicey.
Yep. Okay, a3 and knight e5. Again, I think
Aman's playing fast, but he's got to try to figure out some imbalance. Although he likes symmetrical positions.
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing to note is the pawns on b4 and a3 are in dark squares, making a potential bishop ending attractive. Just saying. Okay, I think that was a very good move by white, just to make sure queen c6, queen c4 didn't show up. This looks more and more like a draw. Anyway, let me see. What great remembrances do I have for us? So I was saying, World Cup. So Dan, how is Dan? Dan was waking us up at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And you guys, Aman and Eric, you both were taking turns. It's like, I'm waking up every day.
But we would let you sleep in a little bit, so we would be. We would. But we would take turns, but we'd let you join after the stream started, like the technical setup.
Then you guys would off to that. But that was actually pretty fun, and that
was fun. Waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. for a month.
Yes, that's what I remembered. That was a really long event. It just kept going and going and going. So that was pretty cool. We did the cooking program. Remember, we had the lasagna.
Yeah. So this is looking good, by the way. This is a win that we're not expecting. Like, this is anything to worry about here? Any counterplay?
Only, like when you go Queen C4, don't allow Queen A8 and Bishop D6.
So how do you prevent that?
You go B3 and Queen B4. You just stop that stuff solid. There
you go. Look at that.
Come on.
Time, boy.
Nice. AMAN. Well done.
That's +3, Yasser. Professional.
Ooh. How did you get your name, Big Chief? No. I just think this is the most marvelous story.
That's like a COVID thing. So we had our Pro Chess League teams. I know you'd commented on some and whatnot.
Yes.
And Grishuk has played for us before. I had recruited him to the team.
Yeah.
Grishuk gives funny interviews, and he was down to go on stream, after a match. He starts, saying he wants some merch, and starts referring to me as a big chief. At some point, he just says Chief Hansen, and he starts in his deep Russian accent.
I always related it to this idea that Grishuk had said is like, look, our captain thinks we can win the league, win the championship. We just have to listen to Big Chief.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. He's like talking about that. It is funny just because in Canada, especially where I'm from, and if you're from the prairies, like there are chiefs, and a lot of times they're big guys.
Of course.
So one time, someone called me chief. I think it was at a bar or something, and then I think another friend said that was like, but there's another guy here, he's an actual chief, so I wasn't sure who was talking about. Like he's from the reserve, and he's like he's the big chief. Like and because we have a bunch of different reserves in Canada for the indigenous population, Aboriginal
First Nation tribes.
Yeah, and so chief is a funny word. Like in Australia they use the word, I think maybe in South Africa I heard it, but when Grishuk said it, it sounded very funny. It did almost sound like I was like the boss though, or I was like they had to perform because I was there. I was a player too. I was not putting pressure on anyone. But oh, by the way, AMAN took a serious pairing. He took Sujirov.
Ooh.
No, Queen Trap. And Australians have used the word chief before in terms of everyday talk. I've heard people say, what's up, chief? Or I've heard that from Australians as just like a slang. Yeah. And South Africa, I heard it as well, but in Canada, it was just funny. Grishuk's interview was just very funny, so people caught on to it because it just came out of nowhere.
Exactly. In this position, I want to play G3, but H3 is hanging, so I have to preface the move with Bishop F1.
I'm surprised AMAN went for King H2 before, because there's also some drawbacks with putting your king on H2. Sometimes
they could take on H3 and play F4.
Yeah. But AMAN's, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's basically saying, look, I like my bishop on B5. You take on E4. I'm going to play...
He's going to play C4. He's going to allow knight D3, but still try to blockade. Don't you think?
I would think so, but yeah. A6.
Nice move. Nice move. Nice move. The tactics worked after bishop takes D5. That was important. That the D5, because now
it was check on D5.
Even A7's an accomplishment.
Well, A7, bishop D7 or bishop B7. I'm not sure. I mean, like the A7 is there. It's serious.
Thank you, Theo.
But Queen H4, I'm a little...
Queen H4 would have been more scary.
Yes. That was the word I wanted to use. Queen h4 looks scary. Yeah.
And we're down
Okay,
50
now
seconds.
Queen h4, Queen g4, and life is okay. Okay, and basically Aman's knight sucks. End of story.
But it's going to go to d2, right?
Precisely. Knight d2, knight takes e4 is the
The big threat. White would be
threat.
positionally winning.
Correct. Okay, that's a prelude to Queen h4, stopping Queen g4. Okay, Queen h4 defends e4.
Aman's very happy here. If it doesn't get tactical, he's a control player.
Smooth control. But I think Queen h4 is just going to get hit with g3. Yeah.
And after
Black has
g3
to get
here, is
hit
Black
with
going to leave
Yasser.
the rook there? Because
Take
otherwise...
the pawn. Knight takes e4.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
take it. Take it.
Good call,
Rook takes
Yaz.
e4. Queen takes d3.
You still got it.
That rook is...
You still got it.
The rook is... Queen takes d3. Where's the rook going?
It's not going anywhere.
G6
This
is
is
hanging.
collapsing. This is...
g6 is hanging.
Just take the g6
Take on
pawn.
g6.
Hey,
Yes.
Well, that works too.
Well, what's better than being a pawn up?
Oh
Exchange.
my goodness, yeah. So we're going to play the KO button. That's a huge win. 13 points to go.
Wow, Aman taking no prisoners today. What's going on today? What are we celebrating?
10
Eric?
years, Yasser, and you
Hey
appearing.
man, do we get some subs for that result? That's gotta
Oh,
be.
you still
worth
got...
it.
Oh, I thought you forgot about that.
By the way, on my list, I just added, and this was a funny one for the chat. So, okay, let's be clear what's happening here. I'm going to go to Toronto, and I'm going to go to Toronto for a week, and I'm going to be jumping on all of these streams and rabble-rousing, getting subscriptions, doing whatever we're going to do. And you can't do that without a voice. So what did the boys do? I arrive in Toronto. I kid you not. They take me to a Hot Wings. Spicy wings.
My idea. That's right.
Caligula.
You always say, "Oh, Eric, it's so cold in Montreal." I'm a desert baby. Okay, I thought you could handle some spice if you're a desert baby, Yasser. Right? Like, what kind of desert baby can't handle some spice?
We're talking spice. This was not spice. This was Caligula. Whatever.
It was
in
called
that?
Caligula flavored. It was called Caligula. That's a good memory, Yasser. Wow, a fond memory.
Well, I went home that night with a voice from Prizzy's Honor, Houston, whatever his. Remember,
You're always
we
referencing these old movies, and then I have to like
Prizzy's Honor and the mafiosa boss. Hey, I hate to see you leave. Your death next Thursday is going to really hurt me. But my God, my voice. When did I recover? Was it like 3 days later?
3-4 days. Yeah.
I was out. That was hilarious.
That was one of our more recent memories because Yasser hasn't returned since then. So maybe and the Wings place went out of business. So now I can tell you it's
cause
safe.
and effect.
It's safe. But I'm just trying to support local businesses.
Of course.
But yeah, it's okay. I made up for it. I took you to the movies, our routine.
Right. Yeah, that was good. Speaking of taking me out, I've also got that. That was an unexpected. I was not prepared for it at all. This just kind of came out of the blue. They said, "Get ready, we're gonna go." And I go, "Well, where are we going?" "We're going to the boxing gym." "The boxing? Oh, how nice." "Yeah, because Aman has gotten the chess boxing kick, and we can go show you where he learned to box and work out." Great. I didn't know I was gonna be boxing as well.
Yeah.
That was quite the surprise, but it was fun.
It was fun. Besides waking up early and going, it was fun.
Right.
You liked it because he was complimenting your form a lot more than mine. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you got some mitts, man.
You were setting the bar so low. I mean, Jesus Christ. Uh-oh, I'm not liking what I'm seeing here. Bishop f5. How are we dealing with that? Ooh,
Also, the bishop on h2 is not looking too good.
There's a queen coming to. If we play the recommended f3 move, there's a queen coming to h4 check, Eric, and no me gusta.
No me gusta también.
No. Okay, the Spice Wings story has an echo, which I thought was hilarious. And for me, it had nothing to do with me, but it had everything to do with you. You and AMAN had got it in your head that what you needed to do was have a retreat, a chess retreat. And you hired a place in Mexico and said, okay, chessbrahs, come on, let's go for it. We've got to do a chess retreat. And you went there, and the first thing that happened is you caught COVID. You got the flu, and you had to. What do you call that? You had to. You couldn't be around anybody, so you stayed the whole.
Oh well, no, we were resourceful. So many people caught COVID that we had a COVID camp for people that, because if there's enough instructors and students, that they're isolating together, and then the people that have caught it, haven't caught it, are with the healthy coaches. It's just that it was.
So you split the lepers and the non-lepers from one another.
It was like COVID was going down, and then all of a sudden this Omicron strand came up, and it was like right before, and I was like, people really want to do it. Everyone's like, yeah, then we did it, and that was a good trip, Yasser, and we invited you. And
I missed it by that much. Yes, you did. Yes,
this is not looking good, by the way.
No, F2 is nasty. Queen F2, followed by Rook F3. Oh. I feel.
Do you go Rook F3, or do you pull Yasser and start gobbling pawns? You don't want to allow Rook B1, maybe?
B2's not missing. It is not moving.
Oh, that's a good move. Ooh, Queen D4 check after Queen E2.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a really good move, Bishop H6. Because the reason I was advocating for Rook F3 is, remember, when you're attacking, invite everybody into the party, and the Rook on A8 hadn't got an invite, so Rook F3, Rook F8, but Bishop H6.
Bishop D2 check here is gonna hurt. Do you like that move, Yasser?
Oh, I love that move.
Bishop D2.
H1 is hanging. Too much sunlight. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, now that's
a little fancy. Much. Because the Rook. Oh, he's gonna bring the Rook to F8.
Well,
a King G2. Is that giving him on some chances here?
Big time. Wait a minute.
What's going on here? G. Okay.
Queen F3 threatening mate in 1.
Okay, so Queen D2 check and Rook F4, but maybe the FM won't find it.
Well, if you go Queen D2, King H1. Rook F4, Queen G2. I feel like I'm in with the
And AMAN is
here.
fast right now. He's only down 15, now 10 seconds, and he warmed up his mouse beforehand.
Ooh, I don't think he needed to play Rook F4.
No, he's pre-moving, that's the thing.
B3. I think B3 right away. Okay,
The pre-moves are coming in, though. He's catching up on the clock, Yasser.
Yep.
Down only 5 seconds. Down only 2 seconds. Only 2 seconds now.
D6.
Only down. He's up. AMAN's up. AMAN's up, Yasser. Look at that speed. Look at the Canuck go. Here comes the flag.
A4. White 1.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. time, boy.
Rook f4. Once we saw that, that was a little too fancy.
Okay, what are we looking at here? Set the stage.
I think this is a tough pairing for Aman when it's the strong IMs. I've played this guy a lot. He's pretty good online, and he's probably like 25, 50 FIDE, so well past GM level. Maybe even higher than that. Young guy, 20.
Future GM for sure, yeah.
But Aman did well against Sujirov, so the form is looking good, but this guy is fast at the end of the games.
Okay. This is a very typical setup for me in a French defense that I played literally all my life. It's black, and I loved the knight on f5, and I would tolerate all kinds of garbage. I put myself, I provoke my opponent, let's put it that way. But I like the knight so much that in these types of position, I would play f6 and stick my king on f7 and just say, do your worst.
But that's like a bit of an ode to the Carol Can line, where that's even the theory, right? Karpov had some games, maybe you did.
Yes.
The specific
Against
line.
Kimsky. Yes,
Yeah, against.
correct.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And, again, black suffering a space disadvantage. But in return, you're getting this really, really beautiful anchored knight on the f5 square. You just have to make sure you don't get mated.
Why, Aman castled kingside, Yasser.
What's that?
He castled kingside.
I would never have done that personally, but okay. You just have to make sure you don't get
He's
mated.
planning to go king g7, rook h8, and hold.
Well, you got to start with hg.
Knight
And like you
h2,
Knight h2.
king g7.
Knight g4, rook h8. Looks kind of grim, but that knight on f5 is your solace. That's
I won a game in BLITZ like a week ago. Similar structure. My king's on g7. They have the h file. I have a knight on f8 and g8. And he's got rooks on the h file, but no queen. And he's got a knight on a rook on the h file, and a knight on f6. And a knight on f8 and g8. And there's no mate, no matter what.
Just holding on.
And he spent all his time looking for a mate. He just
couldn't find it. Something to be said for knight h4 or maybe rook h4. What you want to do, I think rook h4 was the proper way to go. Rook h4, you want to get your rook on a8 to the h file, just so you got to make sure you don't get mated.
This is probably smart by Aman, because if he plays knight e to f5, his knights get tangled up, and white can double on h3, h1, h2.
Exactly. I think he should have started with rook h4 and not knight h4, but rook h4, bring the other rook to the h file, and okay, queen came back to a8.
So where's the breakthrough for white here, Yas?
Exactly. So you're gonna trade rooks. You're gonna play rook h8. Ooh, c5.
Well, yeah, he's down on time. He wants to put a bit of pressure or get white to think about the center, as opposed to just a one-way street.
By the way, that is a king on g4. Let's not forget, knight c6. Let's go. Knight c6. Let's go.
Like, this is not a normal defensive setup or position. King on g4.
No.
But the way things are going, Aman might pull this off. Like,
queen c6. Not sure I'm a fan of that.
Okay, after queen c8 though, the king is on g4 as you pointed out. So how does white make progress? Queen c8, are you going to go b5 or something?
Yeah, b5 is a really good move because that just kind of puts the... So we take on...
Aman's down to 19 seconds here, Yasser. I need some moves.
I was about to say, you take on h8 and you go queen h8?
With 14 seconds, he's going to...
Yes. Now, again, you got a good chance to draw with knight to c8. I'm not sure I like that move, but okay. Knight to c8.
12 seconds to a minute, Yasser. Aman's pre-moving.
Okay, this is an easy draw now.
No, but there's no increment.
Oh, it's all about...
He's going to bring the knight to h6, Yasser.
You're right, he is.
But Aman's got some pre-moves loaded.
Yes, he does.
The other guy's gonna bring maybe one knight to c6.
To b4.
b4 to c6.
Okay, what Aman has to do is go knight g3, knight h4, knight h5. What am I saying?
Knight h6, knight c6, knight c6.
Knight c6 is scary. Knight c6 might not win.
Because of a5.
Oh,
Look at this.
Oh, he was supposed to go knight to h5.
He's pre-moving. He can't react to the moves. He doesn't have enough time.
Knight c8. He's got it. Oh no. Ah!
Oh, it's falling apart here, Yasser.
It sure is.
3 seconds to 16.
Yeah, that's.
He's still pre-moving though. Look at the speed. Is it enough?
Aman's fast. I gotta tell you, time boy. Ooh, 8 stalemate. No.
You know, he actually had a defensible position for the most part, but the clock was the issue there.
Yes. Eric, how's your chess?
I didn't play too much for a while. I had you on in January. I wasn't doing much chess then. The last month-ish, I've been getting back in, playing quite a bit online. Ratings are up, speed is back up. But still no huge urge to play over the board unless it's like maybe like a Raptor or Blitz event. Because as you said earlier, like classical is like pretty scary right now. And there's not really nice events that like, you know, get me to want to play. But the chess is feeling solid for sure.
Okay, good.
And I've been taking out some of my anger on the viewers. You know, if I need to feel better, I'm just...
You're not banning people, are you?
I have been.
I mean, I was a pretty good prosecutor.
You enjoyed that, and you said you'd come back more often. I never saw you again. I said, Yasser, I got food for you. I got food for you.
I think we actually had scheduled for me to come on. I came on, and well, I was ready to come on. I apologize. And then the stream didn't happen until hours later.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my sleep schedule's messed up. That's on me.
Because I was like, hey man, you know, like who is today's victims? Like there was nobody to victimize.
Hello, check. If you want victims, we have an abundance of victims.
Oh really?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
and I think you enjoyed prosecuting. Like it was a good arrangement, I thought. Yeah.
Well, but here's my pet peeve. Marbles. I'm terrible.
You're not.
I hardly even finish, man.
I know, and you're just not. You don't play enough. You don't have any coordination whatsoever.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, like, what's going wrong? I mean, how do I improve? This is terrible.
Yeah. That's a lot of people are still searching for that years later, and it's been costly. Seriously,
I'm like. Am I like the biggest dummy in the class or something?
Not the biggest. That's a contest. That's a very competitive, very competitive title.
I tell you, it's rough. Okay, so we've got.
But you have the shape, the round shape. That helps.
Yeah, I kind of think of myself more pear shaped these days, as opposed to round. But yeah, thank you. Thanks for noticing on that. Oh, but marbles, that is just, I mean, I've never been so bad. It reminds me of the story of Francis Ford Coppola. As you know, Francis
the big director, yeah.
Yeah, it's considered, you know, like one of the greatest, if not the greatest filmmaker of all time. Anyway, Francis Ford was a smart guy, and he definitely was a great student in this class. So he's in his chemistry class, and all the light, he's like 11 years old, and all the lights go down and the projector comes up, and the teacher is talking about primary colors, and he says, okay, you know, what do we get when we take a green screen and combine it with a yellow, right? And all the kids raise his hand. And according to Francis Ford Coppola, the class turnip gets the answer right. And Francis is looking at this guy who doesn't know anything about anything, and he's getting all of the answers right. And this goes on and on and on throughout the entire class. What happens when we combine the red with the yellow? And everybody raises their hand and they're correct. It turns out, and that's the first time that Francis Ford realizes he's colorblind.
Oh, okay.
Like the greatest film director of all time is colorblind? And he didn't find that out until
the one guy's like, this doesn't make any sense at all.
That doesn't make any sense at all. By the way, that decision to take the knight on c3, that's double-edged. I would have probably played bishop to d6 myself. I don't think black has any losing chances whatsoever here.
Aman's really speedy right now. His knight is gonna
land on f5 once. How come the knight didn't go to f5? The knight always goes to f5 and goes. Okay, but in any case, the bishop is just a passive observer. It can't attack. The only thing it can really attack is the pawn on b6. So what Aman should be doing is playing king to c6 and b5. Yes, now he's got a breakthrough. Now it's an easy win. a4, and you just take on d4 check, take on h.
That's huge.
Yes, easy win. I don't know, king e6 there looked a little bit more convincing, but okay, easy does it.
He's down to 6 seconds, Yasser. Can you pull this off? 4 seconds to 5.
Oh no!
No. Aman's up on time. He's gonna keep the knight on the board and check him to death. Time boy. The knight. It's the knight. Just keep one pawn on the board.
Yeah, and that's what he did. But at the end there, he'd actually played a nice endgame and demonstrated that the knight is actually better than the bishop in those ending positions. See, a lot of the endgame books have wrongly said when it's a bishop versus knight, if there's pawns on both sides, the bishop is favored. Well, there you just saw an example where that simply is not true. The pawns, the white pawns on a3 and b4, f2, g3, h4 were all on dark squares, and the bishop is not, it can't attack any of black structure. So it's literally, play on one goal for the knight. And Aman maybe didn't show them the best technique, but good enough. So
yeah,
nice
it's just a long-term push. Like, it's just only pleasant for one side. Yeah, there's always exceptions in chess. It is very hard to generalize.
Pawn alert, take the pawn.
Wait, is black just hanging up on?
Yes, take. King takes h2. I don't see anything wrong with that. Take the pawn.
That's a juicy pawn, Yasser.
Oh.
Does that make you happy? When are they not juicy? There's some poison pawns.
There's some poison pawns. That's true. Can't take them all. We'd like to take them all, but can't.
You'd like to take them all?
Yeah, but this is nice. This is nice. Okay, winning technique is just control your opponent's counterplay. In this case, it's all based on the long diagonal knight f4. And I wanted Aman to play g3.
You would play g3 here.
And well, with the queen, when the queen was actually on e2, but I would bring the bishop back to f1, I play g3 just to make sure the knight on d5 ain't going anywhere. Okay. Queen a1. I can't say I'm a... Okay, b3.
You look at that diagonal though, c4 and d5.
That's... Oh, ho, ho, ho.
What
Actually,
are you going to do about
F4,
that? Yeah, sir.
You go knight f4, d5. Yeah, well, I'm playing c4. Thank you for asking. Knight to e5. Let's go. Knight e5.
Yeah, he's going to take on c4 here.
Take...
Oh, okay.
No, something to be said for c5. The reason why I'm attracted to c5 is I lock down the long diagonal for black and make d4 d5 d4 d5 followed by knight g4 or knight e4 playable.
Can black take a4 or is it too risky on the diagonal?
Yeah, I'm thinking you take on
If
d5 will win a piece.
So queen a4, d5, knight f8,
Knight g4,
knight d7,
knight e4.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, he caught. But black realized that was the problem. Also, still d5 and takes and knight d7 check, or knight d7, sorry, or knight g4. I don't like the king on h2. What about you?
I don't. And it's a little loose right now. Aman's down a bit on time. He's got the speed, but it's a lot easier to play fast in those like end games. If there's a lot of pieces on the board and your king's on h2 and you get low on time.
Yep.
So it's good that he's playing a bit faster now.
Yeah.
But it is a bit looser now, and it forces white to look for tactics as opposed to natural improving moves.
I'm playing g3.
Aman's not playing g3. He's not. He would have done it a long time ago. He's not. He's no way he's playing g3.
Exactly. So this last move, indication he's looking to play bishop c2. Oh, he was okay.
So do I give a check or do I go queen e7?
See, that's so. Imagine this position where we had g3 and bishop g2 on the board. Yeah,
Getting dicey, Yasser.
Okay, but still, I can take on b6.
Take on c4, take on f3 type of thing.
Yeah, that's screwed up. That's counter spiel.
Counter spiel.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know what black's thinking about. Okay, there we go. Good
but
move
now
by
he
Aman.
can take on e6. Maybe he mistimed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Ooh, it's looking. Okay, but the queen on b6 is monstrous.
He's gonna give up maybe that pawn.
a5, yeah. Oh, this is great.
This is completely winning.
Completely winning. a6 is next. Fire away. a6. Bishop f1. Check.
Aman's got the speed here, Yasser.
Yes, he does.
Look at that speed.
I know, but is it... Oh, take the knight.
No, just one on time. His speed is on point right now, and he had a good position. We're one game away. This is the game.
This is it for 3,000?
Yeah, this is it for 3,000.
Okay,
thank you for the subs.
I want the subs to be at the ready in case we need some support for Aman's 3,000. Oh my goodness.
This is an annoying setup if white does what I think they're gonna do.
So what happened is we had this London system that became very popular. I really liked playing it as black. And it was Lev Polygaevsky who came up with this idea of queen b3 and bishop e3. And forcing the trade on b3 actually gave white a considerable pull.
I just don't think you're supposed to take on d5. I think one of the ideas is to go bishop c3, b4. And then you can bring your knight d2 to b3 and get that eventual break and queenside pressure.
But this middle game position, I think, the top guys really showed that it was comfy for white, to say the least.
Do you like what you see right now?
For white, definitely.
Not
white
for
has
black?
played it. No, I like white's position a lot. I think that the pawn on e6 is going to be tender after moves like rook e1 and bishop h3.
The weak pawns are a long-term issue here.
Yeah.
This is a serious problem, Yasser. Aman's down 20 seconds, and unfortunately, there's no easy moves.
No easy moves. You got to go king f7, rook e4, rook a4 is a little bit.
But we have knights, so if Aman can survive until that end of the game scramble, then we got a chance.
I think he takes with the king so that we got knight c5 as a hope.
Knight c5, rook h4. Does that concern you?
Yes.
Yes.
Rook h4,
yeah.
By the way, for those of you joining in late, where does this
I don't. Some people, you've told the story, they forgot already. They just don't have the memories.
Exactly. This is like one of the great memorable stories, and it's just hilarious. A friend of mine, Robert Hamilton from Guelph, Guelph, Ontario, he's organizing a tournament on the island of Grand Manan. A lot of people don't know this island off of the Atlantic coastline of Canada. And he wants to organize a round robin, a group of round robin players, and he's got Lawrence Day, himself, John Vanderville, Anatoly Lane, myself, all lined up to play. But now he needs the Canadian champion, Igor Ivanov. So he calls up Igor on the phone and he says, hello, Igor, this is Robert Hamilton calling to invite you to a tournament. And Igor answers, yes. We'd like you to play in a round-robin tournament, 6 players, a double round-robin with 6 prizes, 20,000 Canadian ring prizes. Yes. We offer your travel, hotel, and full pension. Yes. Well, Robert's running out of bullets. Oh, knight d6 check. Oh, that was a nasty one.
Hello, Dr. O.
Ooh, that was nasty. Knight d6 check. So this goes on, and Robert, like
rook e4. Yeah, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, Robert finally says, and free drinks. And Igor goes, free drinks. Igor, play.
Igor, come. Igor, play.
And then hangs up. Click. Robert's on the other end of the phone with the deadline, thinking to himself, I should have started with the free drinks.
Yes.
Yes.
Any chances to hold here, Yasser?
E1 is hanging, C8 is hanging. White hasn't played this perfectly, but no, the material is too much. No, it's a rook.
Knight's coming to d6.
It's a rook.
Aman's got 2 knights though. He's a tricky bastard.
Rook to d6. Oh, I was about to say rook to d6 and knight f5. There's not too many tricks when you're getting mated. Okay, a4. Okay, that's an indicate. Oops.
Oh, that's lights out.
Yeah,
oof.
Can't make. Oof.
Just the opening, Yasser, right?
Yeah, it was mistimed. When White got in the move e4, I don't think Aman should have allowed e5 followed by e6 as quickly as that. Maybe he should have castled long, but so the opening, you're absolutely right. You nailed it. Yes.
Yes.
I like to throw it. I don't. I'm watching your screen, which is giving me the
Yes.
view of the board, but I don't get to see the chat. So you got to do the honors. If there's any questions that
But once we open
people
the
in chat.
floodgates, Yasser, then
Uh-oh, I understand.
once you let
but,
the dungeon
where
trolls
would they
out.
like? Where would the chat like to lead us? Because sometimes
You want the blind leading the blind.
there you go. Sometimes. Okay, so we're taking on d7 just to take away the two bishops.
And putting your queen on c6? Is that what you're doing? I guess queen takes d7 is what you're expecting.
Exactly. I think we're trading queens, and I'm going knight b5.
Bishop
Because d6 is
f8. Yeah. But there's an issue that if you at some like pawn on a6, it can become a weakness or a strength. But
Right.
Aman's
but,
going for d5 maybe in some position. Yeah. Yeah. Last
Okay.
time you're on, Yasser, we talked geopolitics. I think for 5 hours.
No question about it. Well, it was the whole Russian chess players being banned.
Yeah.
And the whole idea that these Russian chess players had to play under the flag of the FIDE and not under the flag of their country, because the Russian players supported their president. like what? So in other words, it's this idea that if I was an athlete in North Korea.
We got a nice raid from Ben Feingold. Thank you, Ben and Karen. Cheers.
Hey, absolutely, Big Ben. Big Ben. This idea that the North Koreans couldn't play under their own flag because they support Kim Il-jung. Well, maybe they would be shot if they didn't support Kim Il-jung. So it's like, what? And this idea of geopolitics, and you were just saying that the pawn on a6 could be a liability. Well, guess what? It's kind of
Black's handling this well.
he is. I'm not a proud man, but I like the pawn on b2. So rook a2 or rook b1, with the idea of playing knight f3, king to d2, trying to cover some business squares along the c file. King d3.
Aman's up on time this game. That's good. He's been falling behind a bit.
I don't like this one because this allows knight takes c3 and rook takes g3.
Oh, you want to sack a piece for 3 pawns?
Yeah,
even though that's a pretty good knight on a4 in terms of.
Yeah, but it's well, those pawns. Oh well, I don't think Aman wanted to lose the a6 pawn. Why did he put his knight back on a2? Okay, we're confused. Okay, knight back to b. Okay, Aman's kind of he's not doing good, but okay, he's now redirecting his energy towards the d6 pawn, and I like that. Knight f3 is on his agenda. Why isn't he playing knight f3, attacking the damn pawn?
Do you like this, Yasser?
No, I think Black is really playing it very well, like really well. Ouch. Yeah. And something like rook c2 is on Black's agenda.
Oh, that bishop is coming in.
Yeah. Rook c2 is just too nice.
We're gonna see the rooks double here. What h4? That's an interesting way to convert.
Yeah.
The pawn has some purpose on h5.
Yeah.
Aman's down to 22 seconds.
Is f5 completely okay? I think you gotta give your opponent a chance to go wrong. And I'm just thinking.
Well, his opponent's down to 20 seconds here, and Aman's he's fast today. He's locked in on speed.
F5 threatening rook F3. Rook F3, rook H2
You
mate.
saw it, Yasser. They both
Yeah,
missed
Mon
it.
saw it too.
And now black is falling behind on the clock.
Oh, but that made it too
Oh,
easy.
rook G4 is coming, so he's got to go rook H1.
G4, rook H3 mate.
The-
Oh.
Is he going to go for a draw?
H6. King H6. Yes. King H6. Oh. Draw.
Oh! He pulls it off. 0.1 seconds.
The miracle of much. Miracle.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
We have a 28-10. So I'm not sure this gives Amon 6 points. He might need 2 wins. But Amon's score against it was 22 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses.
Wow, good paying customer. In these positions, I was really happy as black to play the move c5. And the idea is if they take with the pawn to play bishop takes c5, knight c6, and get a speedboat in terms of development. The move a6 is excessively cautious. You're ahead in development. You can't be worried that your opponent's going to play knight b5 and attack you. So I think that Aman, in that exact moment, underestimated his chances, and I think he should have played for a5. And if his opponent had played b5, then to put the knight on c5. In any case, he's got a very fine hedgehog position. And Korchnoi despised the hedgehog for black, but I loved playing the hedgehog. And I had some really pretty good victories. I beat not Victor Korchnoi, I wanted to say I beat Jan Timman in one particular hedgehog game where literally I played like almost a perfect game where just everything, there was just a flow that was just nonstop. I mean, and it almost felt like Jan had no chance. Now, what's going on here?
Well, if knight c3, there's e5.
Well, I'm more worried about rook c7, knight c3. Okay.
That's definitely not the move.
Yeah, this kind of...
I mean, b5 you still have to watch out for, but this usually black's happy when they get in b5.
I agree. When
you just trade the rooks, play bishop c6, and slowly creep up in the center. What do you think about that?
I was looking at take on c1 and play knight to d5.
Yep.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Kind of like, oh, Aman is greedy.
He's playing active here.
He's thinking that the bishop's trapped. That's so knight to d5, bishop a5. I agree the bishop's off sides. Not standing very pretty, but
it's pretty committal from black. Is that what?
Right.
Yeah. Because where does the knight on? Okay.
So the idea is Aman wants to play queen b7, make sure he doesn't lose the b pawn. On a good day, bishop g5, f5, f4, and get some. Take advantage of the fact that the bishop on a5 is not pretty.
One sec. Mike, is Ryan around? Because I would propose that challenge to Yasser. Yasser would be. He was the offer was like to play a mutual friend of ours, and every like point of material that's captured by the end of the game, he gifts and subs.
Ooh.
So like the pawn grabbing, taking all the pieces, dismantling,
right,
is being rewarded here. I think yeah. Some people want to watch their friends, get abused.
Yeah, just get dismantled. What are friends for? Oh my goodness. Okay, so
promoting queens. Here, he's probably going to centralize the queen. If white doesn't play a4, a5, a3, a4 ever, and they play like this, like
You're right. He's going for the queen centralization and maybe queen a2 just to be harassing. I don't know. h5. Look at him on. He's a sneaky guy gaining some space over there. Okay, so basically with this trade, what Aman is saying is that you, white, have a majority on the queen side, but it's going nowhere. I've got this pawn on b5, which means that you're not going to get a passer. Conversely, I've got pawns on d5 and e5, and I, with my center majority, am going to get a passer.
Aman's down 15 seconds, but he can play this position quickly. And do you think he might play h4 at the right moment, Yasser, to ward off the king from
Always
approaching the middle?
In fact, I was about to say I would like even to play for f5 and get as much space.
How does Aman untangle from this pin, though? Did he allow,
No, I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
Bishop c1, targeting the a3 pawn. Yeah, baby, take that pawn. Oh shit, sorry.
No, Aman's...
Well, he's taking on g2.
Here comes the speed. Here comes the speed.
g4, let's go. f4, let's go. Oh, Aman, take the pawn.
There we go. There we go. That's the technique.
Bishop e3. Yes, f4, let's go. Oh, Aman knows how to do this. He could do this in his sleep.
Absolutely. 29.98.
No, you were right. You were
but
right.
this guy is a good opponent for Aman. He's comfortable. He's relaxed. He's locked in. Eckers, thanks for the prime.
Is that Doug Eckers?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. This is for the marbles. We found a customer.
Okay.
I don't want to jinx it, but
we're rooting you on.
the moves were not threatening. You can sometimes feel the pressure.
Aman, for some reason, he does like bringing his knight to b4. Usually he's got a like, but in that particular setup, it's far more important to double on the e file. You want to play rook to e1 and double on the e file. So literally, you have a position like this, what you're seeing on the board, where you make bishop takes g6 and rook takes e6 possible. Like it's again old Soviet school of chess, I would say. Knight f6. I was about to ask, did you feel that we should be trading the light square bishop?
No, but I don't see where white's advantage or pushes whatsoever, and black's going to eventually play queen b7, b5, maybe. And
no, that's on his agenda. You got it. And this is what I'm saying. Aman finds it. I find it surprising.
He's a bit passive.
Well, I just don't know what the knight is doing on b4. If I play the move b6 to d5, then the knight on b4 will go to d3, and everything makes perfect sense, right? Because now, he likes a blockade knight.
But just like the hedgehog, this is kind of good for black. Like getting
I feel the same. Yeah, and now you've got in b4, and
oh, this is tricky because even knight e4 is a very unpleasant move to look at.
Yep. Agreed. If I go knight on f3 to e5, your move knight e4, pressing c3. You know what Victor Korchnoi would say? With unpleasant sensations. I think you got to play knight d2 there. Oh, I was about to say I just don't like the pawn structure. The pawn structure looks
So what's
split.
the idea here? H6 is good by black. How can
Yeah,
Aman
94 is-
trick or outplay his opponent?
I think. Ooh, that's
It's an
wrong.
Is it?
I thought 90. Well, I
Aman
wanted
has the pressure to win this game, so it's not the most precise move, but it's
Rook
like
C7, Queen G4. What do you
Rook,
anticipate? Him?
Rook C7, I'd take on E5.
Exactly. I like black in these cases.
You have to take back with the queen.
Okay, queen, rook check. Fortunately, whoa, that's a surprise move.
Black's definitely giving chances here. You can go Rook B4, Rook D2, put the king on D6. Aman's
Yeah.
gonna bring his king over to D3.
To C3, actually.
Yeah, after. But Rook check, Rook back.
Okay, wait a minute. B3. Who's got the who's got the pass pawn?
The time is a bigger issue this game because white's not better here, and it's hard to flag your opponent.
Well, white might be better now. Take on E5, take on G7.
Well, black is playing
Check.
a bit funny.
Check.
Check. Bring the. Well, Rook B2 is annoying though, isn't it, Yasser?
Yes.
Okay.
What's going on? I mean, okay.
The moves are a bit.
Aman's a pawn up, right?
And he's preparing G4 and Rook F6 check.
Correct.
So now you should maybe play, what, is H4 too desperate? White's played some horrendous moves, I have to say. Like, I actually don't know how some of these moves are being played. I don't, like, this is, like, what?
What planet are we on? Okay, now white's got the choo-choo train, the G train. Let's go. G5, let's go.
I think this is a win, Yasser.
Easy win. Rook F6, G6. Yeah, look at that. Look at him go.
10 seconds.
Rook E4, Rook. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Did he do it?
I think he's got it.
3,000?
3,000! There's the
All
Aman
right.
KO.
3,002. I mean, that ought to be worth a sub.
That's an all-time peak for Mr. Hambo.
Oh, look at Hambo.
Aman. Yasser and I are we're enjoying that. We maybe want to keep playing. Maybe keep playing. We like this.
Man.
You have a 24-0 record against this guy. Do you
Probably
know that?
from Bullet.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
There's not even a draw.
I didn't know that.
So,
You were just playing your best customer.
Customer.
you said customer, client, customer. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Was Yasser okay with my chess, man? Was Yasser bothered at some points?
Let's just say
Overall, I thought you played very decent. No, seriously, I thought
help.
you had a lot of really, really good moves and good ideas. And you were just incredible in time scrambles. With fractions of a second, you were playing incredible.
Yeah, well, we had the 0.1 game. That was could have been a big swing in either direction.
Right.
And that was a bad game that I came back from. So overall, maybe we played pretty good blitz, but not necessarily good chess,
Right.
which is okay.
It was very good. No, very entertaining. Good stuff.
Not the way they did it back in your day, I bet, Yaz. Some of those positions.
No.
You're rerouting the knight to b4 was confusing, Yasser.
It's definitely not from nowhere, but it did look like it was from nowhere. Looked like it was from the depths of my ass.
That's the bowels. Well, thank you for sharing that deep insight.